Hello?
Hey, Pauly D from Hell Yeah Radio. It's Johnny D from Plug and Play Indie Radio Station. It's an honor and privilege to have you on the show today. How you keeping together these unprecedented times?
Well, the under present time with the coronavirus and everything, man, you know what? I don't panic, dude. You know what? It's everybody's running in panic, and it's all going to straighten out. It's putting damage on the music business. And I would like to say to you, you know what? It's a privilege for you to call me. You're like a brother from another mother to me. You know what I mean? So that's how you been, man.
Oh, great. And thanks for adding me to your family of rockers out there on your Hell Yeah station. I like listening to you, and you can do requests. I'm learning a lot from you. You're a
I
mentor and
appreciate it.
wizard, and I appreciate you, man. You're a
Well,
fellow rocker.
I listen to your station too. I go over and check out the recordings, man. You got a good station over there.
Well, I'm going to put this interview on the station on Plug and Play Indian, among what
Oh, that's great.
others I have, and I'd like to have this interview on your station. It would be cool.
Oh, that would be great. We'll put it into an MP3 and we'll put it right up there, dude. Put it
Yeah,
into
for
YouTube
sure.
and you can put it around. So, what's going on? What would you like to ask me? You can ask me.
We're going to go back to was it 1998 for the Ultimate Flight Cases? How you started that?
Well, we're going to go back. We'll pull back to 1985, all right, where I started at a place called FFC, Frisbee Flight Casing. And by 88, I opened up my own business. I started in a garage. And with the garage, I moved to from the garage. I moved to Jersey City in the '90s. From there, I moved to a place, the West Orange, the Edison Complex in West Orange, New Jersey. I moved all over, dude. Back to the garage, to Patterson. So I moved about 8 or 9 times to a case company for doing the cases. The flight cases are so people can understand. Flight cases are the black boxes you see on stages that hold the gear for the equipment, guitar stands, drum boxes, amplifier cases. They're called flight cases.
Fantastic.
Because people usually don't know that, and they're like, cases. He's a flight case maker. What's that? So I say I correct it so they get that they know what they're saying and talking about. So
Exactly.
So where do you want to go from here?
So we were explaining the flight cases. The cases, the cargo guys kind of throw everything around with their luggages, so you have to
Oh,
make these
sure,
sturdy for
exactly.
guitars, violins, kits, whatever they have in there.
Well,
Uh,
also sports gear. There's sports gear. I've done the Rangers, the Knicks, the New Jersey Devils. But the one thing that might not stop something from going through the side of the case, you know what that is? Forklift.
yeah, that you can't stop
But
those.
yeah, but that brings in that brought in at the time it brought repairs in. You get what I mean? If you had a hole in a case, the you would if they had a case that was bigger that they want to the units wouldn't fit. They got a smaller unit. They would put dividers in, and they would refurbish the case with making changes in it. So it was a never-stopping business, and it's the most on-time business in the world.
Yes, yes. So, do you have any plans to starting up another business for cases? I don't know, a
Well,
different number,
to
name,
tell you
or
to tell you the truth, after 9/11, when 9/11 took the crash, the music business took a really turn where it closed down, just like what's happening now. Okay, and this is even worse. And what's going on with the coronavirus? Because there's no tours, and who knows how long they're going to reset up the tours again. You know what I'm saying? It could take a year to reschedule everything.
right?
So, so having the case company go down, FFC where I started at turned into C&D. Coy changed it, and Coy was my competition. I went back over to him. I worked there from 2001 up to 2017 until I got sick. And I was a manager. I did the bill collecting, a designer in there, and I handled the phones and all for all the bands, legendary people that I know personally. They're not just people. They weren't just clients like David Bowie and them guys. David Bowie, BB King, Sammy Marandino from former drummer Cindy Lauper. Jeff Bova, Eddie Martinez. They were just all friends of mine. Lou Reed. They were personal friends of mine.
Super. That's good to
So,
hear.
well, it was good to have that relationship. I was never starstruck, so I had a big mouth, and I'm not gonna like throw my mouth off the way I would say it to them, but I treated them like normal people, and I didn't take no crap in the business.
Right. So, you have another program called Road to Recovery. Tell us a little about that.
Well, road recovery. When they found out, I collapsed loading the cases for Hamilton at C&D Case Company, and I was in a coma. And I came out of the coma, and they found out I had cancer, and it was no big deal. I didn't freak about it. And after I had my cancer removed, I got up and I gave back to the people. It was a place called the Road to Recovery. The Road to Recovery, if people hear about it, you would think it's a drug rehab place. No, it's not. It's about the qualities of life, how you live your life, how you don't walk on eggshells, you don't fear death, you don't have panic attacks. I have gotten people out of wheelchairs. I've helped them mentally ill. I put my all into it, and my success rate right now is 1,400 plus. I overrule a psychiatrist and a psychologist.
Congratulations, man. We need more people like you on this earth.
Well, the problem is my platinum albums, dude. That's my degree. If I had a doctor's degree, I'd be wealthy.
So tell us about Hell Yeah Radio and how we met. I
Oh,
seen
how we
your ad
met?
on
Well,
MXLR, and I says I gotta check this out, man. This guy is colorful, and he's got his shit going on that station.
yeah, it was the way the creation of Hell Yeah Radio was. The creation was taking four DJs from New York. One was Howard Stern, one was Carol Miller, Scott Muni, and Allison Steele, the Nightbird. And I combined the four into one radio station, which it's right on top of. I get tons of emails how your internet radio station is the best out there, Paul. And I don't think I'm all that in a bag of chips and shit. I just came up with a different idea and I brought radio back to the way it was when we enjoyed it. Instead of when you go onto Billboard nowadays, you're not on it too long. You get what I'm saying? So I brought all the older stuff back, the good stuff that we all enjoyed listening to. And it didn't go off in 3 months, and then you go on to other stuff. It's a whole new. When they put out CDs, they ruined everything. You know.
How'd you do that?
Well, when they put out the CDs, they made everybody revamp and sell their albums, and now they're bringing back LPs.
Right, right. The
So
nostalgia is coming back.
yeah, you got a couple of guys at a business table saying, you know what, we got a business plan that we can make money. We'll put out CDs, and then went to download cards and stuff like that. And the internet really messed up a lot of stuff with Napster, the download site, downloading. It messed up the business where it was
MP3s,
exactly.
Bluetooth.
It was a great industry. The internet blindsided a lot of people that people put up videos they don't even watch them. They just put thumbs up on Facebook, and I really disrespect that it got that way. And it's only been like 2 to 3 years that the change of the internet changed a lot of stuff in the world. As much as the case business, hell yeah, radio. So you got to keep reinventing yourself, like Madonna, man. Madonna, I knew. I've worked with Madonna. I've talked to her. She reinvented herself all the time,
Yes.
and she could reinvent herself to country, to doing. There was a lot of artists like that, and
Well,
some
like
can't.
excuse me, if I might add,
Sure,
like
no,
my station's all the genres. I have all the CDs I collected from the Columbia Record uh, House back in the day with cassettes and all that. So I end up putting them on my station because I paid for them, and I like all the genres. Not like some people just like one
correct.
country or classic rock and pop. I like it all.
Well, I'll
Uh,
put it this way, okay? When you were a kid, right? We grew up before there was Zeppelin and all that, the Beatles, there was the Bee Gees, all right? You had the Bee Gees, Barry Manilow, all them. Barry Manilow was playing piano with Bette Midler. Um, back then. And you know what? You go in, and there was three people that changed the music world for the kids. And you know what it was? It was the Osmonds, the Jackson Five, and the Partridge Family. Who didn't want to top on the tour bus with David Cassidy? It changed us as kids. It impacted. No one realized what the Partridge Family and the Jackson Five and the Osmond shows did to the music business.
Well,
It
that was
got us.
another genre. That was pop music, right? Am I
Yeah, but
correct?
what I'm
Or
saying, it just
bubblegum
got.
rock? Is that
Yeah, but
bubblegum
it
rock?
just. Yeah, well, it was just commercial. It was commercial like Leaf Garrett and all the people in 16 magazine back then. But it got it into the point that you want to hop on a bus with David Cassidy and you want to be a musician, because you've seen Danny Bonaducci on there, and you worshiped the Partridge Family when you were a kid. You got home, you watch it, you were like, "Wow, this is a rock band." I want to be like this when I grow up, and that's what I became. I've been doing it for 47 years.
Good for you.
But bringing out radio around, I was the first one on Facebook to create a real family, and I think you see that from being in there. The people get along with each other, they know each other personally, and it was never done where I've talked to over 8,400 people video to video on Facebook. It has never been done. So I took a change. It started on Facebook where I was doing video versus radio on Facebook. And then I went over to radio and I opened up Pauly D's Hell Yeah Radio. It's for the music lover. It's not like some satanic cult radio station where I just play metal. It's like what you're doing. You play all genres. That
Yes, you can't please everybody, so you play everything.
Yeah, some people get hooked up on there into Metallica, or just into Kiss. I was a guitar writer, so I was into all different music to make my writing better for a guitar player, and that's going to be another segment of an interview.
Yes, we're going to go through the ritual that used to play in the 80s, early
Correct.
80s and late 80s. Heavy
Right up
metal
to
rock
through.
band. We're going to go that in a second part
Yeah.
interview and early this next month or soon.
You know what? They're so like when I talked to you and I called you after I seen you, and I messaged you and I said, I think I said while you're on the radio station, I'll call you, and I called you up and we started talking and getting along, and the thing is, there's a niche to doing a radio station. You really got to push it. Like I've been DJing all night tonight. I started at 11 o'clock and I haven't stopped yet. It's still running, and that's the way I am. You got to be a go-getter, not a quitter. If you're going to be a quitter, you might as well not be in the business or just do it for fun.
That's my aim to do it for fun. I really like it. I enjoy talking and meeting people like yourself, and there's no better way to do it to be in this day and age, staying at home and in your own comforts of your home, and having your own radio station.
Well, it's like with the cases, right? My first order with the cases was Samantha Fox, what I did on my own before FFC. When I was with FFC, we were doing Slayer, Metallica, Whitney, and I got to work with the same people, my ex-boss, that when I left and started my own business. So we knew the same people. That's why I could do the collections, get on the phone, talk to them, and get the money. But I never was starstruck. I treated them like normal people. And they had a job and I stayed out of their way and I did my job. You know what I'm saying? I would go out to arenas and bring a truck, a 40-foot rider. I started a thing called Road Ready Repair, where I would bring a whole rider with the whole case company on it and repair the cases at the venues. I was the first one to create that.
Wow,
So you
innovative
so you know
ideas.
what? It was running. I only lived on the most I went without sleep was 14 days doing Lou Reed, Foreigner, Anthrax, and Whitney. I did 14 days straight until I collapsed. Okay, the most I ever slept was 1 hour a night for 17 years, 7 days a week.
Wow.
So it was dedication. My business it was my life, it was my wife, and I'm telling you straight up. But I gave up. I sold my soul, not to the devil. I sold my soul to give up a lot of stuff to see my kids. And and even after work, I would come home only for an hour sometimes and go right back. So I was doing 8 runs to the city to measure out cases for all the bands because I might get back. I might have got back from the city. Another call from Lenny Kravitz. I was back to the city and I sued Lenny for ripping me off on the 5 tour. Dude, it's not common. I got the paperwork. It's not. It's common knowledge. You're not. I never got ripped off in my life. I always win. You know, you had to be a hard ass in this business, or else they would step on you and take you for a ride. All musicians. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them just had egos that were way over the level they should have had. They should have been more humble. That's all I'm saying with
So
that.
this COVID-19 is really going to play a role on the music industry, and where do
Correct.
you see it 1 year from now, 2 years from now?
Well, I could see it like this. You had 9/11, and 9/11 was pretty bad, and that the tours it didn't last a year. The bands got back on tour um, quicker than they thought. But they stopped the tours the minute that happened. It shut down just like it did now. But the only way these musicians are making money is going onto your radio sites and putting up, like I told you, you can advertise. John wants you to put up your stuff, your YouTube stuff. It's a thing of to get the musicians on to sell their CDs. Streaming, you make money, but it's the CDs, and these people should get to the thing and support the musicians and buy the CDs. It was places like Napster, which I shut down. I was one who called the shot on Napster and shut it down with Lars from Metallica back in the day. So you know what? I told Lars they were downloading his stuff. He took it to Supreme Court. And the other people, the other musicians said it was going to be good for the business. It was not. It was the worst thing they ever did.
Um, I'm kind of startled with all these questions. So I think we'll go back to the norm once we get the vaccine, and then people will feel that they're safe, and they know that they can pull through that if we go into uh, you know,
Well, basically,
mass areas
my
where people are congregated. I think
my
that's
my views is the way I got sick, and we'll talk about that whenever you're ready. It could be the next interview, whatever. Um, what happened? I'll never get anything injected to me. I never had the flu shot. It's all man-made, and I'm not going to put a man-made, um, basically anything man-made into my body. All right, because after I got sick on this one, I'll never get an injection of anything in my body ever.
no. What if they try and make you get this vaccine? You
They're
won't get
not
no
going.
health care. They won't. They'll negate
No,
whatever
no,
from you.
it's
I'm just
just like the
saying that
it's
theoretically
just like
speaking.
it's like the flu shot. You don't have to get the flu shot if you don't want to. And the flu shot caused a lot of problems with people. They had the flu shot and they got sick after that many years later.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever had a flu shot? I never had
No,
one.
never,
Me
never.
either.
I'm not going to get injected with a virus.
I think proper nutrition, proper sleep,
Correct.
proper exercise, everything in moderation is good for you. A little
And
self
your attitude.
medication, maybe a little drink here and there, and a little smoke here and there, but nothing of the heavy substance, and you should be
Correct.
okay. Relax the tensity, the anxiety. You need some kind of outlet with something.
And a very positive attitude. You
Very
have to.
much, very much. That's what you get from Hell Yeah Radio with
Yeah.
Pauly D. Yes, coming to you live and uncensored to the biggest show this Saturday. TO, we got Pauly D on Plug and Play Indie today. Uh, he is talking about his flight cases, ultimate flight cases, and he is with the of Recovery. Is I saying that right? And
Yeah, the road
Recovery
to Paulie D's the road to recovery, and it'll be on Sunday night on YouTube
on
every
YouTube
Sunday.
every Sunday. If you have anxiety or you have some mental issues, that Paulie D will help you out any
You
way,
could
shape, or
even
form.
It
and
could
he'll
be
get you.
cancer too, man. Cancer, paraplegics. I deal with people that have drug addiction problems, from fentanyl to Xanax, and I have them work with their doctors. I'm not a doctor, and I don't prescribe medicine.
I don't think you can.
No, I can't, and I'm not going to. Why
Only
would you want?
little smoke some weed and have a shot, and will reduce all the stress and think positive, stay healthy, stay sane, stay simple, and listen to my
That
radio.
you said it right, 100%. Stay simple. Like when I had the voice, my father and my mother always said you had a radio voice, and I came on one day and I said, "Hey, man, this is Pauly D with Hell Yeah Radio, the rock and roll station of the worldwide nation." And I enjoy doing radio. I really do. I treat the musicians. My interviews are a little bit different. They're more talk. That it's more like I'm talking to my friends on the phone. You know what I mean? Because I know these guys, and we go off into issues. Like how the family, the wife, the kids. And I appreciate that. That they're very. The ones I bring on are humble. I'm not going to bring in a bunch of jackasses on a radio station that are a bunch of morons that they think they're so hot and better than everybody else. Lennon was right, bro. Imagine all the people living as one, except the world is never going to get on that level, ever. Lennon had the idea and the concept. He was totally right with the song, but it'll never be like that. There's always going to be evil, and with Facebook and Instagram, and people are always going to. There's always going to be jealousy, and people don't read into what they don't really read because it's on phones. It got smaller, so they're leaving out sections of what they should have. They actually went to the movies to watch a movie, and at the best part of the movie, they went to get their popcorn, and they missed something in the reading or listening. People don't listen these days, or they don't read. And it's a shame to say that.
So tell us how you got over 57,000 plus listeners out there on Hell Yeah Radio.
It only happened, and I started the radio station in July, and people started coming, and they started hearing the music that I was playing. I was playing metal, I was playing all genres of the stuff we grew up on, and it was like Eddie Money said, "I want to go back, listen to the radio." And that's what I grew up on. I always had a radio. I had 45s when I was born in '63. My mother would buy us 45s. I had my first album in 1968. My mom bought me. So, and plus my father was a country artist too. So I was very much influenced with country, metal, all genre music from gospel and soul down to, like I said, the Carpenters, every type of every type of music I could listen to that had a good beat, from Donna Summer or whatever, and it had a good recording quality, I was into.
So you grew up into music.
Oh, most definitely. I was born into it from my father.
Born and raised a rock star.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a rock star. I really don't think. A lot of people ask me for autographs and stuff, and even with Hell Yeah Radio, when I started on Facebook, they were saying, "You're Paulie D. Can I get a picture and an autograph with you?" And I said to myself the first time it happened, I said, "You got to be kidding me," you know? And I don't mind doing it. You know what? If a kid wants an autograph or whatever, I'll be glad to do it for him. It's they either see me, and I'm just a normal person. I like life. I love life, and I cherish life. Life's a gift. You don't let it slip.
For sure. Um, to close it up soon here, I'm all exhausted out of questions here. It's been a pleasure having you on the station. Love to have you back on as
I love to come back. You have me back anytime, John. Man, you got
and
me
we're
back.
gonna have the second part of this interview about Ritual, explaining how you have your heavy metal rock band and where it's led to you today and where it's going to be.
Well, I'm deciding to go back in the studio, and I have about 60, 70 songs left of Ritual that was never completed. And without Billy passed away, and we'll get into this, but he passed away last year. And with being with my father, growing up, my father teaching me guitar, and my first song was Folsom Prison Blues, and I was backing my father at 9 on stage. So being with my father all the time, I was in a musical world. Plus, with electronics, my father invented the radio control car, and he was an electronical genius. So I learned how to solder and with being you talk about me on a computer and stuff, and say, Paul, you're smart. I don't think, like I said, I don't think I'm all that in a bag of chips and shit. It's just a great gift that I call a gift from God, and that's my views that I was given. I was granted something, a great gift, you know.
Fantastic.
And I wish your station, man. I'll be over there. I'm busy, and if you told me to come over there and listen to it, I'd be there in a heartbeat, man.
For sure. So, hope to have you on next time for the second part segment of Ritual and Hell Yeah Radio, coming to you soon on my Plug and Play Indie station. One more question: do you have any indie originals that play on your station?
What in the bands?
Yeah,
Uh,
original bands that play on your
Original
station.
bands, yes, all the time. They come to me. Newer bands, I take on newer bands that haven't been heard. Bands from South Africa that the metal is better than the metal that was out then. So they send me the stuff. I listen to it over, and I pick and choose on the recording quality because I've worked the board all my life. And to learn the board, to get a good sound, if say if I'm playing and I got a bad download and I didn't know it, I'm gonna stop the station. I'm gonna say, give me a minute. I gotta switch a download. I like clarity in the music, so people get the best of both worlds. You know?
Yes, yes. You don't want no scratching nails
Yeah, you don't
on the
want
radio station or
or
anything you're
glitches.
listening to. That makes
Correct.
sense.
So you know what? You just like I said, you take it day by day, and your radio station is doing good, John. You learn. You know what?
I'm
I
learning
always
from you and Emilio Vaz from MixLR. You guys are fantastic friends and mentors. Emilio Vaz from the Rock Den. He's
okay.
been influential all the way. He got me to start this radio station. Back in the day, I had a Dipalooza Rock Festival on Facebook. Look me up, Dipalooza Rock Festival, and I'd host all these independent artists from locally from the Windsor area, and I'd cast all these guys up there. We had some fun, but back in the day, it was a lot of work, and I did it all myself. So I did it 10 years in a row,
Okay.
and I thought, well, I'll end it at 10 years as a final tour, and we opened up for uh, uh, Kiss Destroyer. They're one of those
A tribute band.
tribute band, yes,
I've seen
and
them. They're
a
very
friend
good.
of mine, and I ended up like that, and I had fun along the way. So now my new thing is the radio station, Plug
And
and
you're
Play
doing it
Indie.
good. You're doing it good, dude. I love talking with you. And you know what? You always listen to people, even if they're talking bullshit. I soak in the reality from the bullshit, and I store it in my brain. That you know what? Learning lessons. You know
Life is a
what?
learning lesson.
Exactly. And when people give up learning, which they do when they get older, they don't want to learn. They don't have no ambition no more. I have this drive to keep on going, and the throttle's in full right now, and that's the way I'm going to keep it. To go and cut deals and talk to these musicians every day that I know, they're glad to come on because they know me. And they would say, Paul, I would come on. Vito Brado's coming on from White Lion, right? And he don't do interviews no more. He's doing me a favor, not for an interview. And after you do the two interviews, you know what? We're doing a third. You know what the third is? We're just gonna hang out and chill and talk to each other like we do on the phone, bro.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Nothing
that
better
that'll
than
that'll be the
chillaxing,
third. That'll be the third one.
chillaxing, bromance on the phone.
Yeah,
There. I got one more
ju-
other question.
yeah. You
If
got
you were a
anything?
rapper, what would you name yourself? My name would be J.D. Digger White Wigger coming to you live
Well,
to the biggest show.
if I was a rapper right now, well, let's see, man. You got Pauly D from the Jersey Shore, man. So like I'm older than him, so I think I had my name before him. So I'll just keep it Pauly D.
Pauly D, the rapper?
Pauly D, the rapper and the spinner, man. I make the music that
Mine
makes
would
the
be
whole
like
world.
JD Digger, digging out the independent artists in the Windsor local area
Yeah, rap. I'll tell
and
you one thing.
abroad.
I'll tell you one thing. I do play rap every once in a while. Trick Daddy took an Ozzy song and put Crazy Train to it. You know, and as long as it got a good groove and it's telling a story, I love true stories in music. That's a big thing about me. I do music, 4 hours of music evaluation on lyrics every day of my life.
Well, I think a lot of the music is a window that people see and write and sing about,
Correct.
right?
There's either you got two things. You got a story or you got rhyme to reason. Rhyme to reason is most people they don't tell a story, they write a song because it just rhymes, okay? And they usually put two verses and they forget the third verse because they ran out of the story. They don't have the end. I never did that. I put a full story together. That's why I stayed with Ritual, and that'll be in the next thing. And I'll explain how I started with my dad, and I'll bring it all the way up to where I was in cover bands, you know, and I got into Ritual, and I was doing the cases and Ritual at the same time. And that was very hard on me, man, to do both, recording 24/7. I think I recorded the most 8 days in a row, where nonstop recording. You know, it was like put the throttle in full and just
When do
keep
you
going.
sleep?
I sleep 1 hour a night. I didn't sleep. I got up at 11 last night, and
Yeah, I was
I've
listening to
been.
your show and you weren't feeling well. How are you doing today?
Yeah, no, I was fine. I got back on. I pulled myself around because of the road recovery, and I pulled myself around, and I stayed all night. And I'm still DJing right now, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going till about 2 o'clock because
Fantastic. 2 in the morning.
I got ACDC at 2 o'clock this afternoon, an ACDC special. I got 25 more calls I got to make today for interviews with some big bands, and I got Swirl coming in, and I got I got oh my God, it's like I got to call Charlie from Anthrax and a bunch of people, and Striper and them, and you know what? I think the people should start listening to the radio station, Hell Yeah Radio, for one reason. It's a story of their lives, like Roger Capps from Benatar. He came on. It was an unbelievable interview about how he played 10 years with Benatar of the major hits that Benatar did. And he's coming on again. And you know what? I keep quality people, and you're welcome on my station, man. I'll come on and do an interview with you, man. How about
Yeah, I'd
that?
love that. I'd love to have to be on your station and be recognized as Plug and Play Indie, a radio station through your station.
Well, I got to get an autograph of you, man. See, I got this collection of autographs, of thousands of autographs. And I saved the autographs that says, you know what? It's called I've Been There, man. And you know what? It was a great time. I had a great time. I never asked for autographs, you know. It's like, and you know what? One day when you get the autographs done and stuff, if you hand me one, I'll hand you one of me. You know, I'll hand you one with me and BB King, and put that up on your wall.
Yeah, I put
that
a few of up on there. One was Ace Frehley on his birthday. You sent me. I put it on my Facebook, and a lot of people like that.
Yeah, Frilly's a nice guy. Frilly kept the longevity of Kiss going. You know, Kiss. I give Kiss. I give Kiss the most credit for doing that show, that theatrical show, for all them years, and still going.
Fantastic.
They're probably the hardest working band next to the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead never stopped touring until Jerry died, and I was very good friends with Jerry Garcia.
Now, do you think they'll have the Kiss Cruise again in the
Well, yeah.
future? Because
Um,
the I was looking online there, and the boat tours, carnivals are up 600% because they're so cheap, and they want to get the economy moving. So, do you think the
well,
Kiss tour will be coming soon?
I think Kiss will go on as long as Kiss is making money. They could say this reunion tour will end when it ends, when they say they're done. You understand? And with Bonfire, the band Bonfire, there was a song called Sword and Stone that was laid on the shelf that Kiss wrote. And Kiss was going to take Bonfire out on the Kiss cruise to do that song, you know? And I can ask Ronnie, and I'll get back to you on the next interview, and I'll know more about what's going on with the music business. They said that by July 4th, everything's going to be open, which I don't think is a bright move. I think they should give it to the rest of the summer, and I know it's going to hurt the economy and hurt people. It could throw them on the street. People are losing businesses left and right. And it's, like I said, it's doing damage. When flight goes down or tours go down, there's no thing as flight cases. They don't order them. They don't have the money. They're not, because they got to store all them flight cases in storage facilities. Whitney Houston's storage facility was 85,000 square feet. So you're talking about she had all that she paid for storing the stage set, the wardrobe cases, you know, and I built a part of BKB Studios, which was Whitney Houston's studio in Elmwood Park. Bobby Christie Brown, it was named after. So I was very, you know what, John, I was very lucky, but I always was not, I was a fan of music, not the bands. So I did mouth off to the bands a lot, and I'm not lying to you. And I always took it that if you were going to be decent to me, I would be decent to you. If you didn't, I wasn't going to let no one rip me off in the business. And they've tried, you know, and they didn't get away with it. And I refuse to lose, and I refuse to lose the battle I'm dealing with, and we'll talk about that next time. You know, and I can't wait to come back on with you. Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure having you on the show, and this is a two-part series, and we'll get back to you on Ritual. Thank you for answering the call. Stay safe, stay sane, stay simple, and listen to my radio, Plug and Play Indie channel.
Oh, yeah, like I said, just call me up when you're doing it, and then I can switch over. I can load up a block of songs and come over and listen to it. And because Hell Yeah Radio runs 24/7. It's a non-stop radio station. And, you know, I get the calls for road recovery, at least 12 to 20 people a day with anxiety, panic attacks that I help, and I get them through it. So, you know what? Like I said, the third interview we'll do, we're just going to chill and talk. How about that?
Fantastic. Okay, have a good day, and thank you, and listen to my radio.
Hey, man, you're like a brother. Like I said, you're a brother from another mother, man. You'll always be my friend, bro. And you know what? I'll always, my book is an open door. You can ask me anything. I have never, ever not answered a question that someone asked me about cases or who I worked with or whatever, or horrifying things I've seen. Sometimes I don't mention some things because they're personal between the musicians that passed away, that I just leave it lie. You know what I'm saying? Some
Yes,
things
I
shouldn't be
understand.
brought out, because then it goes around telephone, and you know they'll mix it all up, and it kills the cow. But hey, you have a great day, man, and you know I pray for everybody out there. You know what? Just don't panic with the coronavirus. It's going to go away. The totals are going down. It's a major different a strain. If you watch the stand, it's another strain of the flu. So you know what? Just take it easy. Don't panic, and don't get all upset where you're gonna age yourself. Watching the news is the worst thing to do right now,
I
because
agree.
the totals are not right.
Ignorance is bliss. Sometimes.
Exactly. So
So,
I will
one more thing. Give us a hell yeah.
This is Pauly D from Hell Yeah Radio, the rock and roll station of the worldwide nation. I give you damn Skippy hell yeah.
Yeah. Peace out, brother.
Hey brother, you know
Peace
what?
with
John?
you. With you.
Hey John, you know what? Hell yeah, my brother.
Peace be with you.
Hey, peace be with you, and thank you for letting me on here. Like I said, I'm privileged to be on here because no one has to do anything for no one in the world. You control your own life, and that's what I put it. Okay, so I will catch up to you. You call me. You tell me when you want to set it up, dude, and I'm ready to go.
10-4, good buddy. Nice talking to you, and have a good weekend.
Oh yeah, and I would like to thank everybody that's listening in here. And you know what? There's enough radio stations out there that everybody, I have radio stations like you that are associated with me, Radio Danson from MIXLR, that I go over to the radio stations and support them. There's enough radio out there that people don't have to deal with greed. You know, if they're greed that I want to be number one, there's a lot of radio stations out there that are big, you know, and I give anyone credit who does it, whether it's a case maker or a musician or whether if they did pottery, if they're good at what they do or spackle, you know what? You give them credit. You never down their work. You know, I think that's a horrible thing that people torment people and they ridicule people. I,
Exactly. And maybe we'll get into your bully
we'll get into that
site next
cyberbullying.
time.
Yeah, next time.
Okay, have a
Mostly,
good day and have a good weekend, and peace out, and peace be with you.
and yeah, and bless you with your station, bro. I got your back 100% of Hell Yeah Radio.
Hell
Okay?
yeah.
Damn, Skippy, hell yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you later, Johnny. You take care, and thank you very much for having me on.
You're welcome.
Okay, you take care of
Bye
yourself.
now.
Bye bye.